have any questions before we break up? Yes, Emma Grace, what is your question?
When can we wear the costumes?
When can you wear your costumes? That's a good question. You can wear your costume on picture day, and you can wear your costume on dress rehearsal day, and you can wear your costume on recital day. If you can't wear your costume until those days, you can't play in them at home because they're not like regular clothes. So if they get dirty, we can't put them in the washing machine, they'll fall apart. So you have to dance in a dirty costume for recital. That would be fun. So don't wear your costume, keep them hanging up at home. After the recital, you can play dress up in your costume if mommy says it's okay, but not before, okay? That's a good question. Anybody else have a question? Can you beat that? I use Tarte Smooth Operator. MAC makes a great one as well. But any CoverGirl, Maybelline setting powder is fine. I love this stuff, this refined your pores. Mr. Rockley.
Is Madison Coday doing the small Mary Kate type kits this year, or how's
She's
that
going
work?
to try to get enough samples in. Usually we have a Mary Kay representative, Melissa Coday, is going to try to get enough samples in to sell samples during picture week. You can put in an order and she will be able to sell you a set of samples, a blush sample, a lipstick sample, and 2 eyeshadow samples. So if you don't use makeup or have makeup, it'll have all the colors, little samples of the colors that you can buy for like $4 or $5, and that's just enough makeup for the recital. So she's going to see if she can get enough samples, and I talked to her about that the other night. Karen, did you have a question? Johanna, I know, I did it again. Why don't
I
you
forgot the question.
That's okay, me too. I forgot your name, so.
So even for the New York shows, once they've done their dance, they go back and wait in that room for the rest of the show.
I didn't touch on that, thank you. For the New York shows for the older kids, they do not need to wait in the dressing room. In fact, if your child's in only one half of the recital, like
She's in 2.
she's in both acts, the first act and second act, how old is she?
So she's in that Monday.
Yes.
Okay, so
You should go get her between.
And sit with us.
And sit with you in the
Okay, then that
auditorium.
leads to my next question with the 4 tickets that we get.
Your dancer doesn't count.
Okay.
Dancers don't have a ticket.
Okay, even if, like, I have a dancer in the loudest roar, does she count in the New York show?
Rockley, you want to address that with tickets?
No, dancers can come to everything, and one of the things we're going to do this year, and I've gotten inspired, I have a daughter working at Disney and a daughter working at Universal, and I have come to the conclusion that we want people to come to all the shows. Come and support the other dancers. So you'll be receiving your 4 tickets, and they will not be show specific, they are Heartbeat's recital hopper passes.
Recital hopper passes. I love it.
So you will be able to, we won't be collecting them at the door, you just show up. And then you come on in, you
But then my
know,
2 dancers, even though they're in 2 different shows, they don't.
dancers, if they're dancers, they just come on in,
Okay.
that's it. But we want you to, you know, use your tickets. If you're going to one of the earlier shows, and one of the reasons that we got into giving people the DVDs, let me explain that, why that's part of the package, is many years ago actually, in the fall, we would put a piece of music on when the school started again, and half the little kids would be up dancing their older kids' routines. And we discovered, we had this moment, and I would tell you, this little light bulb went off in an epiphany, and I said, this is not a souvenir. It's not a keepsake. It's a textbook. This is a school, and they learn so much from watching the recital, watching the other dancers, and they watch it so many times that it'll drive you nuts over the summer at certain age ranges. And people come in the fall, when's the next recital DVD? Come, you know, I had to hide it. But that's why we give you everyone from every one of the shows as part of the whole package, because we want your kids to start learning about the other styles of dance. They're going to enjoy it. It's something they were in, so it's all that much more meaningful for them. But that also lets us get it up on YouTube right away. So we will have all 3 recitals should be up on YouTube within 2 or 3 days, so that summer, when you're off on your vacations, you can go and share those with your grandparents or visit, you know, wherever you can bring it up and show it. It's a great little technique. But what was the first question?
About tickets.
Oh, just about the tickets. So everybody, instead of getting tickets for different shows, which we've always done before, you'll get a single or 4
And
single
dancers just
tickets.
get into anything, it doesn't matter, dancers can
If
come
anybody
to. We encourage the younger girls to come back in the afternoon for the bigger kids show. The little kids absolutely adore watching the bigger kids dance, and you will see a lot of times now, at this point in the year, we're sharing routines. You'll see our class go into the class next door and we'll watch their routine and they'll watch our routine. We do it a lot because it seriously pumps the little girls up. It makes them want to be ballerinas when they get to see the big girls dance. So we do that a lot. You'll see us sharing routines. You should have your dancer backstage 5 routines before they're due to dance. So if you're in both acts, take her back 5 routines before her first routine, and go get her, let her sit in the audience and watch. Take her back 5 before the second routine.
I have a question about the rehearsals.
Okay.
Because I think
Yeah,
they're,
for the,
so since she's 6, we're
I'm gonna
doing
get
one,
them in and out early.
okay.
what?
I'm gonna get them in and out early.
But they're at the 5:30 and the 7:30?
Yeah, that was my question.
Because they're in Act 1 and in Act 2.
So like on
So it's
Wednesday.
Monday, Wednesday,
5:30
Friday?
to 9:30.
We'll bring them in at 5:30. I'll run both of their routines
Okay.
early and we'll get them out early.
Okay, because I,
For rehearsals, I'm not gonna keep your little people here for a long time. Even if they're in both acts, I'll go ahead and run, because they're the same kids in the same class for those. I'll go ahead and run both their routine, run one routine, run 2 or 3 other kids while they change shoes, then run their second routine and then they can go home.
thank you.
I really try to minimize how much time they're here. In addition to the fact that it's hard on them, I'll be very frank with you, it's hard on us to have 500 kids in this room all talking at one time. So the sooner we can get them rehearsed and get them out the door back to you, the happier we are.
So is the plan to hit every rehearsal? Is that the theory?
We would like you to come to every rehearsal. We understand that there's no way in the world you're going to make every rehearsal with your work schedule and stuff that you have going on. So as many of them as you can get to is always better. The more rehearsal time they get to do, the easier and smoother it goes for us.
And that's just regular clothes that they normally
Regular
practice
dance
in?
class.
Okay.
If they are here for a rehearsal, if your rehearsal is here, they are in their regular dance clothes, or they can just wear their shorts and a t-shirt as long as they have their dance shorts, their dance shoes, I'm happy. Any rehearsals at West Springfield should be in costume.
A little more just about the rehearsal process here too. One of the reasons we like to do those couple of weeks of rehearsals is we open the wall so we can turn the kids. This distance, when you've opened the wall, is 40 feet, which is basically about the size of the stage at West Springfield. So we want to put them in the size that they're going to get used to so they can begin to fill the space with their routines. We also have the kids as an audience for each other, which we're already starting to do as we bring them and share classes, but we want to slowly step that up to a larger audience. Because a lot of the girls, if it's their first recital especially, they start getting nervous, but if they've been conditioned and that is expanded, then we don't want them, the first time that they walk out on stage, it's the first time they've been before anybody, and there's 1,000 people out in the audience. So that helps them do that. It also helps them learn their numbers and break the mirror habit. Because in their normal classes, they're kind of watching and cueing from the mirror. And they've got to know it in their own head because there's no mirrors on stage.
So I think that's pretty much everything you need to know. Come to as many rehearsals as you can. Be patient as the year plays out because these costumes coming in, I wish I had control over. In my next life, I'm going to own the only costume company on the planet, and we're all going to get costumes on time, and they're all going to fit. We've had less this year of costumes that just don't fit. Sometimes we get weird pattern defects in costumes, and it'll say that a child's dead in the middle of a size 2, and then we get here in the size 2, you can put 7 dancers in. It happens all the time. This year, the only real big one I had is I have a group of elephants in the first show. And the elephant costumes came in and they were all a different color gray. I got them like, what the heck? And all the sequins are different. What is going on with that? I actually had to send the entire set back and have them sit me a whole new set of elephants. But be patient. I promise you, as soon as they get here, I will get them out of here and get them in your hands as quickly as possible. We're trying to get them out the door. We still got a couple more orders in.
We keep the costumes?
Oh yeah, they're absolutely yours. Keep them, keep them. I tell the kids though, don't play in them until after recital. All right, thank you all so much for coming. I hope that answered your questions. If you've got anything else, let me know.